What's the most impossible world record of all time? The highest high dive? Jumping the Grand Canyon? Maybe free-soloing El Capitan? No, it's when Dirk Auer did this. Yeah, we'll get to all that and much more. See, after bursting into the world stage in 2008, Bolt was gearing up for something historic at the 2009 Olympics. And on August 16th, 2009, he finally got his big break, smashing the 100-meter record and clocking a time that many believed was impossible.
9.58! The world record's gone!
9.58 seconds! That single race earned him GOAT status, and it remains unbroken to this day. Yeah, that kind of speed feels illegal. But what this guy did was straight up rule bending. Because during the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series, Ross Chastain pulled off a move that literally changed the rules of the sport forever. See, with just one lap to go and sitting in 10th place, he needed a miracle to qualify. And that's exactly when the impossible became his only option.
Ross Chastain used the wall all the way around this racetrack to race his way into the championship four.
He went from 10th to 5th place on that last lap.
Jesus! Ross wall ride his way from 10th to 5th place, securing his position in the championship four, something he had no chance of making just moments before. I mean, bro even set the fastest lap in NASCAR Cup Series history. But as it turns out, the move was so crazy, they had it banned. That will literally never happen again. And neither will Dana Kunez's high dive, because this world record was nearly killing people. See, back in 1982, all 5 divers who attempted the 170-foot high dive landed themselves in the hospital. And it got so bad that they were actually thinking about calling the whole thing off. But in 1983, Dana took the competition to new heights, nailing a 172-foot landing and walking off on his own 2 feet. Yeah, that's the equivalent of a 17-story building with no safety harness or parachute.
Going through some of his arm movements. There he goes.
Good jump. He's in good shape. He knows where it is. All right!
God damn! I mean, that climb alone is impressive enough. But Dana did it with perfect form and into just 8 feet of water. 8 feet! How that jump was pretty. But Dennis Frasoli's record is ugly, because his unicycle act was so dangerous, the Guinness Book of World Records still refuses to acknowledge it today, more than 35 years later. See, in the 1980s, Dennis had nothing left to prove. He was hands down the greatest unicycle performer the world had ever seen, and no one was capable of riding his 35-foot-tall Tower of Death unicycle without taking some serious fall damage. But as crazy as that was, he went on to raise the bar even higher.
I want to do something that no one else in the world is doing. The unicycle can be dangerous on a high wire, but this one doesn't have to be on a high wire to be dangerous. You could even get killed doing it, but I want to do it. I love to do it.
You nervous?
Nah.
Yeah. Bro pulled off tight turns, figure eights, hell, he even weaved in and out of cones for a full 12 miles, completely solo. Dennis was already the GOAT, but with the extra mile. What a legend. And if we're talking legends, we gotta mention Robbie Knievel, cause this guy pulled off something his daredevil dad couldn't. See, back in 1974, Evel Knievel's Snake River Canyon jump didn't go as planned, when his rocket-powered bike's parachute deployed too early, bringing the jump to an abrupt end. But Robbie wasn't about to let that failure define the family legacy. So in 1989, at just 25 years old, he decided to take matters into his own hands. And quick disclaimer, this was performed by professionals in a controlled environment. Jesus! Robbie became the only person to successfully jump the Grand Canyon on a motorbike, flying 228 feet across the gorge and doing it all on live TV. This dude Robbie stayed shocking the world. But look, there's a lot more impossible world records coming up. Like the time someone unintentionally skied off a 107-meter cliff, a speed record with a fatality rate of over 70%, or the time one dude dared to skate where no man has skated before. And we'll get to that and so much more. But first, let's bring it back down to shore for a moment, because this guy holds one of the most unbreakable records of all time. See, Ross Edgley's been making history since day one, becoming the first person to swim around the entire coastline of Great Britain. The only man to swim 26 miles while dragging a 100-pound tree trunk. Ross even climbed the rope-equivalent height of Mount Everest in under 24 hours. Yeah, the dude's a beast. But in 2024, he set his most unbreakable record to date, completing the world's longest nonstop swim across the icy waters of the Yukon River. 316 miles. That's the equivalent of more than 10,000 laps in an Olympic-sized pool. No sleep, no breaks, or even touching land for over 56 hours straight. That's not just unbelievable, it's unbeatable. And it wasn't just a test of endurance, because Ross also had to deal with the whitewater rapids, the constant threat of wildlife encounters, and the ever-present risk of hypothermia. I mean, just look at the guy's hands and feet. That man is just plain crazy. But Alex Honnold is plain psycho, because he pulled off the most dangerous free solo ascent in climbing history. See, this is El Capitan, a 3,000-foot vertical wall that takes even seasoned climbers with full safety gear several days to complete.
Day 3 on El Cap.
But my boy Alex just went for it with nothing but a pair of shoes and a little chalk on his hands. Bro wasn't even wearing a helmet.
He comes from a very humble background. His mom being a teacher and his dad a mountain goat. This man is acting like he can respawn. Do not start a thumb war with that man. This is the type of route parents claim they used to go to school back in their days.
Yeah, bro climbed the most challenging wall in the world in just 3 hours and 56 minutes. To prove just how crazy that is, most climbers would still be unpacking their gear in that amount of time, while Alex is already chilling at the top. That is nuts. But it's still not as crazy as how this skier's near-fatal accident got him a record. See, back in 2008, pro skier Fred Syverson was shooting a movie on the Alps when the unthinkable happened. Because while skiing down the mountain at 50 miles per hour, he unintentionally mixed up his lines and skied 107 meters off a cliff and into the snow below. God damn! No skier has ever jumped from that kind of height, let alone by accident. And to everyone watching, it looked like Fred had just fallen to his death.
I was underneath the snow and I couldn't breathe. And for 1 second I was just like panicked because I was trying to get loose.
Yeah, even after what he had just been through, he managed to escape without a single injury. Not even a scratch.
It's nothing bad. Everything is okay. But he jumped a big cliff on the wrong place.
Man, that's not your average record right there. And neither is Luke Aikens, because when I heard about this next record, I couldn't believe it. Like, this guy seriously jumped out of a plane and into a net without a parachute. See, Luke's no amateur skydiver. He's deployed a parachute over 18,000 times throughout his extreme sports career. But this time, he was ready to find out if he could pull off a jump without one.
And the crowd on the ground looking up, they have a visual on him right now.
Holy crap! Dude was free-falling for 2.5 minutes! And if that wasn't badass enough, he reached speeds of 118 miles per hour before landing into a 30x30 net. Yeah, Luke made history as the first person to jump from a height of 7,600 meters without a parachute, proving once and for all that he had the biggest cojones on the planet. Now, Luke may have a few screws loose, but he's not the only one, because we gotta talk about the time someone took out-of-the-box thinking to a whole new level. You see, back in 2012, Gary Connery wanted to showcase the potential for innovative landing techniques. The goal was simple: land on these special boxes and survive. In other words, the guy was cuckoo, because bro intentionally ditched his parachute and took a leap of faith from 732 meters up in the air. Jesus! Imagine knowing that your only chance at survival was a bunch of cardboard boxes! A landing like that and just walking away? It's rare as hell, but it's still not as rare as the water speed record. Because of all the ways you can push the limits of speed, none have proved more deadly than this.
As he approached 270 miles per hour, the boat broke in two. Taylor's body went 300 feet down to the bottom of the lake. Another life lost to the water speed record.
Yeah, ever since the 1940s, there's only been 7 official attempts to break the water speed record, with 5 of them ending in tragedy. That's a fatality rate of over 70%, which might sound crazy, but try telling that to Ken Warby.
They told me it's about 50-50 as far as the record goes. But isn't this, for a man with a wife and family, isn't this some sort of madness to chance your life in a 50-50 way? I don't think so. I think I'm going to be one of the lucky 50, not the unlucky.
You see, Ken was already making waves in the powerboat world when in 1977, he smashed a decade-old record by hitting 289 miles per hour. That was the highest speed ever reached on water. But then less than a year later in 1978, he left all those records in the dust, including his own, by clocking an ungodly 317.6 miles per hour. Damn! Nobody in over 45 years has been able to match that and make it out on the other side. But look, we've heard a lot of crazy records so far, and yet we've got one that tops them all. The craziest record in human history. Meet Daredevil Dirk Auer, the guy who combined his need for speed and love for skating into one crazy-ass record. See, in 2009, he decided to go where no skater has gone before, down an 860-meter roller coaster on his own 2 feet.
This is the most dangerous thing what I ever done.
Yeah, bro ditched the seatbelts, as well as the whole seating arrangement and carriage, and went fully solo on his skates.
He's made the first hill into the first dangerous turn. With each hill, the speed builds.
56 miles an hour.
With each turn, the punishing G's get harder to fight.
God damn! In a span of 60 seconds, Dirk experienced 3 Gs, sharp turns, and near 90-degree drops all at once. So if you've ever wondered, is it possible to roller skate a roller coaster and survive? Now you know. But as crazy as that is, we've seen even crazier stuff go down in the movies, like the highest free fall, record-breaking cannon rolls, and the most dangerous movie stunt of all time. Look, if you want to hear more, you need to click on this video right here. This is what movies look like behind the scenes. Trust me, it's a banger.